Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Nick Cage Fight Podcast, where we're here to wrap up our review of the And Don't Bully Me, I'll Come film. I'm one of your hosts, Josh, joined as always by Rich and Ryan, who both signed off on this joke. So, how are we feeling, folks?
On
Well,
brand.
yeah, I mean, listen here, mommy, don't step on me.
I'm also eating my gray content sludge, which is what this movie was.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, you fermented some meat.
Yeah.
There you go.
I just listened to a podcast about people fermenting meat, and it's gross. It turns into black sludge after time.
Why are we fermenting meat? I mean,
I don't fucking know. Because it was one of those things that said like fermenting meat is like it's one of those like weird paleo diet
is this
things.
like a Liver King thing?
Yes.
I know you can like pickle sausage and stuff. Does that count? Because that's a form of fermentation, and those aren't that bad.
No, we're talking about people who are fermenting things for like months at a time until it's like fucking rotten.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's not great.
That sounds like a problematic subset of people, and that problem is going to solve itself.
We can dream.
Yeah,
at some point it is.
Yeah, I do not. That doesn't seem ideal. I feel like that whole weird fad diet thing has just gotten super amped up in recent years. You got that one kid who's doing like cutting like bull testicles in half and putting a stick of butter between them and eating them. And every time I see one of his videos, he is noticeably more yellow.
Look, I'm willing to try prairie oysters, but like not like that.
No, like all of that, like, oh, you just have to eat weird, gross, disgusting stuff for every meal and you'll get in shape. And I think the reason why is because they're praying you're going to end up with a tapeworm from eating all of that weird raw meat.
Well, yeah, I think it's one of those things. So it's like, is weird raw meat making you feel sick? Well, instead, buy my supplement.
Ah, yeah, that tracks.
Yeah, that does not explain exactly what was going on with Jordan Peterson and his daughter trying to poison him on some weird diet.
Okay, I didn't hear about this.
Is that the red meat shit? Then he was in a coma, and his daughter was just like, no, we have to keep giving him red meat, and now he has that show on like the Daily Wire TV where he's just sitting in a throne, like just going off about like the Jewish cabal.
Crying about trans people or something like that. It's funny. I do think the entire thing is just theater to cover up his crippling benzo addiction.
I mean, clearly,
explain away the side effects of that, but yeah.
Dude acts and dresses like a fucking cartoon supervillain. He deserves whatever he gets.
Well, I do sort of appreciate the fact that if you listen to any one of his videos, it just sounds like Kermit the Frog doing a bit, like as a reactionary. That can be kind of funny.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows? Well, you see, the gay community are trying to poison us through Bud Light.
I will say this. I think there is a very, very successful YouTube channel waiting in the wings where somebody just takes video with no audio of Kermit just flapping his puppet mouth and just playing Jordan Peterson audio behind it.
Yeah.
Just that, like a 4-hour cut of one of his stupid fucking lectures. I mean, he'd sue you for sure. But if you have a good like copyright and parody law attorney on your side, I highly recommend doing that because I would watch it.
Same.
Yeah, but of course the dark side of that coin is just turning a bunch of grade school kids into weird reactionaries.
Yeah.
yeah, that one might backfire on us a little bit now that I think about it.
Do kids like Kermit anymore? I mean, I love the Muppets, but I don't really see like a lot of kids being into the Muppets anymore. Are they still making new Muppet stuff?
I don't know. Let's take a look.
Considering what we covered in one of our previous episodes, I don't know that they're making Muppet content for children anymore. I mean, it wouldn't be as devastating as doing it with like a Sesame Street character. Sesame Street's still a thing, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's on HBO now because they fucking sold out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So only rich kids get to watch Sesame Street now.
Yeah.
Disney's The Muppets Mayhem teaser trailer sets release date. So yeah, there's still a market for Muppets.
All right. I mean, I'm gonna watch it. I love a Muppet.
Just riding Henson's corpse directly into the earth at the speed of the impact of a tungsten rod.
There was a recent reboot of Muppet Babies. What the fuck?
Whoa, what? I loved the Muppet Babies as a fucking kid.
Yeah, it ran from 2018 to 2022, apparently.
Oh, I'm gonna watch this shit. Oh my god, I see a screenshot.
And it's like bad CG.
Yeah, it's nightmare fuel.
All right, cool.
It's like I see all the beloved Muppets, and then this weird.
Oh shit! The nanny's
girl?
voiced by Jenny Slate. That actually could be good.
I do love Jenny Slate.
All right. Well, I mean, we've avoided it for I think as long as we can get away with. You guys let the conversation peter out, so we're back to the plot. This will teach you to up that banter next time.
We'll learn. We'll learn real good.
So Lucas, who in our last episode left off with igniting a firecracker to drive off the wasp swarm, and he gets full credit for this from the wider ant community. Zoc is the only one who realizes that Lucas was just attempting to save himself, and it just so happened that it benefited the ants of the colony. The other ants fawning over Lucas is really pissing Zoc off, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of on Zoc's side with this.
Yeah, kid kind of sucks.
Kid does suck, but you know, we haven't gotten to his come to Jesus moment yet. So
come to Ant Christ.
Come to Ant Christ moment. We're not quite there yet.
Because in this movie, there is an Antichrist.
There is. So back at the colony, it's dinner time, and they're eating what they refer to as honeydew, which are just these green liquid orbs.
It's slurm. It's just slurm.
Yeah, of course. Lucas demolishes an entire plate of this before learning that honeydew is pooped out of the grubs at the ants farm.
And he's just tired of he's just so tired of partying.
He's so tired of partying.
After which Lucas, after learning this, Lucas starts feeling very sick. Hova gives him an ant homeopathic remedy, which is made with alka root, but is essentially treated like literally Alka-Seltzer.
Yeah, but like anything like that, though, they dilute it in 1/100th of water as well. So
classic tincture fashion there. But Lucas consumes this, lets out an epic burp, which I do want to call out. It makes no sense. They don't reference it anywhere else in the film, but it did make me laugh. His burp reverberates throughout the entirety of the colony before echoing up through the entrance. And there's like two ants on guard, and the burp happens behind them because they're both facing outward. And one is just like, praise the mother. And I don't understand what the point of that joke was or even what makes it a joke, but it did make me laugh. So there you go. I don't know if it was like a God bless you thing or something like that, but praise the mother definitely cracked me up. So Hova also reassures Lucas that Zoc will come around in time. Lucas is bothered by the fact that Zoc seems to hate the shit out of him, but he also gets a tour of what is essentially like ant cave paintings after the ants start telling him about the mother, which is a stand-in for the ant like creator myth, a queen who basically gave birth to all ants. And in the Chamber of the Ancients, where these cave paintings are, Lucas is shown the painting of essentially an ant with a halo in what looks to be some type of religious style painting. But Lucas also notices another painting immediately adjacent to the Antichrist, which is depicting what the ants describe as the fog breather who brings about death and destruction.
I do have to give him credit. This is the most visually interesting scene of the whole movie. It's kind of cool how it's almost a little like neon and like phosphorescent. I think the art direction on the cave paintings was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll agree with that, but I'm still going to make a joke how it's essentially just a college dorm room with black lights set up and psychedelic suede posters from the local smoke
Yeah.
shop. But
But
it does look
also,
cool.
like ants move their colonies pretty often. Do they always just make new cave paintings?
Well, no, they pay their artists in or art is a recognized societal good in communist ant colonies.
All
So
right,
Yeah,
that
they
makes
get a
sense.
grant from the ant bureau.
but seeing the depiction of the fog breather causes Lucas to realize there's been a lot going on. But Lucas remembers that he signed a contract to bring an exterminator to his very own front yard where this ant colony is. So Lucas realizes he has to cancel this appointment, or he and the ants might end up getting murdered unceremoniously with poison gas. So he talks Fugax, Kriega, and Hova into going with him into his house. He does this by telling them that he has a lot of food in there, primarily a large quantity of the sweet rocks that the ants like so much. They go with him. They travel underneath his door into his house, where Lucas laments his mother's decision to get shag carpet and realizes that crossing this is going to take them days. But Lucas comes up with a plan. He realizes that they can use flower petals on this little side table right by the entrance to the living room, and use them as hang gliders with the floor fan to glide across the carpeted area.
Somebody on this production team played a lot of Zelda.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I was gonna say the most memorable hand gliding is in the most recent Zelda, which came out some years after this film.
It's not the only time it's happened in a Zelda game, though.
This is very true. So all of the ants go with him. They do this hand gliding bit with the flower petals, and they get a tour of Lucas's living room, which is a stand-in for like tours of semi-famous places around the world. They fly by a picture of the family on vacation in Hawaii. They fly by a kitschy souvenir that depicts the Great Pyramids. And during this flight, Lucas does a little bit of introspection and realizes he's a bit of a jerk. This is contextualized primarily in his last interaction with his mom before they went on vacation, but it sort of seeps into his thinking as far as how he's been interacting with the ants as well.
I mean, he's kind of justified. That kid's getting bullied pretty hard, and no adults in his life seem to understand that.
I made a joke about it in the first episode, but this is kind of an issue. Like the mom realizes that he's probably getting bullied, and Lucas offers up like a child's version of, I ran into a door or I fell down the stairs, and the mom's like, I don't want to dig into this any further, and
Yeah.
just essentially lets it drop. So you're right. You're definitely not wrong there. Either
Damn it,
way,
Sherry O'Terry.
yeah. Either way, the kid
And
is
Larry
a bit
Miller.
of a dick. He does need a reality check, so I don't feel too bad for him.
I don't feel bad for this kid at all.
No, he's just like, I'm getting bullied. You know what I'm gonna do? Commit ant genocide. All right,
So
he pulled a Hitler. This is what Hitler did.
I definitely fucking, when I was watching this movie, I was thinking this kid's gonna fucking bring a gun to school later in life, prior to being turned into an ant, that is.
yeah,
Absolutely. If these
if
ants did not
didn't-
do what they did,
yeah,
like this
exactly.
kid was definitely going to be a four dead, including shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like there's the whole bit like right after he gets bullied and he looks down and sees the water gun. You know what I mean?
Yes, I think that might have been my, like, when I had that thought.
He sees the water gun and he sees the anthill and he puts two and two together pretty quick. Anyway, Lucas leads them to a box of jelly beans spilled open on his counter in his kitchen, while Fugax continues to hit on Kriega, who is playing coy with him. They start collecting the jelly beans while Lucas is getting the exterminator's phone number off the card that has been stuck to the refrigerator and starts jumping on numbers on the phone to call the exterminator to cancel the scheduled extermination. Unfortunately, Lucas ends up calling a pizza place. And the thing about pizza places, they offer a service and a good in exchange for currency. And this is important because we're about to hit you with an ad break. So enjoy this ad for, I don't know,
hopefully
tops with dick pills delivered exclusively to BYU, but only in their Lancaster branch. I can't keep track anymore of where our random ads have landed us as far as jokes to make, but here, listen.
Well, maybe we can keep attacking the algorithm and have it be pizza ads.
There you go.
Like, come on, Little Caesars, step up your game.
I just don't believe you need to advertise pizza. Everybody knows about pizza.
Oh, I know a pizza place that needs advertisement. Papa John's. Come on, buddy.
No, they don't. They're like,
come on,
a single step below Domino's.
Come on, give me that Shaq money.
With a CEO with an N-word scandal. So come on, I know you're hurting for it, Papa John's.
We are not above your money.
I am above your pizza, though.
Oh yeah, no, their pizza's god awful. But if you pay me enough money, I will say it's great and that it tastes like something directly out of Italy.
This is 40 pizzas in 30 days.
Yeah, no, if they paid us to be a sponsor, I would absolutely put out a video ad on YouTube of us trying to eat Papa John's pizza without cringing, actively flinching as we take bites.
No, man, I would prefer Little Caesars to back us up because at least the hot and ready is hot and ready.
It absolutely is, and they do also have pretzel crusts, which is fine. Like if you're gonna be a gimmick pizza joint, lean into it.
Yeah, like I remember Little Caesars had the bacon crust pizza.
Oh
no. Alley. I had it once. I mean, this was like 2015. I had it.
Mm-hmm.
It is not up anybody's alley.
Oh, God.
The only alley it's up is your ass because you will explode roughly 90 minutes later.
I bet with all that bacon grease. I bet it just seeps into the rest of the crust too.
And it was so incredibly heavy. I think I ate a piece and a half and was like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, you shouldn't. Don't do that to yourself.
Yeah, no, it was a bad idea.
I will say we're a little biased because I know we have listeners from a lot of different areas. We live in South Jersey. We have good pizza here, not brand pizza, like just good pizza, multiple options. So yeah, so the brand stuff usually doesn't do it for us.
Yeah, I'll even do a free ad for Tony's Baltimore Grill. Pay us in pizza.
You know what? Their brick oven pizza's pretty fucking good.
Pay us in pizza and fried shrimp.
Absolutely.
Because I love their fried shrimp.
We guarantee you at least 5 people will show up.
Oh, they would. I'm sure that they would not give a shit as long as we're ordering food and drinks.
Yeah.
That could be fun. I'd be down for that.
They would just be like, yeah, whatever. How much is the bill? Like $80? Okay, fine.
But yeah, no. Now I kind of just want to make a Patreon tier to make all of us do like a food, like Papa John's mukbang challenge.
Oh no.
That absolutely results in all of our deaths.
Yeah. I would shit myself to death.
Yeah, it will result in all of our deaths.
Yep. Yeah, just the you've died of dysentery, Oregon Trail ending. So Lucas ends up calling a pizza place, probably Papa John's. No, it's a in-universe pizza joint, and I can't remember what their bid is. I know one of their pizzas is called like the Princess Pie or some shit like that. It's not the exterminator, but because Lucas has to run from the receiver to the output speaker, he misses this entirely. He thinks he's gotten the exterminator on the phone and that he is canceling the exterminator appointment, but really he's just talking to a bored teenager who's like, all right, you don't want any tomatoes on your pizza? That's like all of the sauce. But all right. So, Lucas thinks he's averted this disaster, but he is not. Unfortunately, his sister Tiffany, Allison Mack's character, comes into the kitchen at this point to take a phone call. And while the rest of the ants are hiding, Fugax, in his hubris, continues to try and harvest some jelly beans or sweet rocks. And Tiffany notices him and tries to kill him with the phone. She is not successful in this, and luckily, Mamo stops her by saying she's going to squish Tiny Lucas, which again Tiffany just dismisses as her grandma having dementia. The ants escape through the garbage disposal, which also unfortunately claims Mamo's dentures. Also, Mamo specifically references at this point that she thinks they're aliens instead of ants. So
she's so close.
I don't know where she was living before she came to just babysit the kids. Probably on her own, and that seems kind of irresponsible at this point.
I'm guessing like a trailer, like in the middle of nowhere, not because she's poor, but because it's the easiest place to have moving air in it constantly. Like it's not too big. I was going to say
because she wants to be off the grid and because Waco got shut down.
It would also make sense because technically this is set in a suburb of Las Vegas, according to the Wikipedia, which is revealed through the area code when they call the pizza place.
Huh.
Interesting.
What was the area
code? That might be a little bit of a 701. But yeah, there's nothing else that tries to like pin down where they are.
Yeah, nothing at all.
No, 701 is North Dakota, my dude.
It's 701. It might be 710. Give me a second. I'll find it.
They have a pretty lush front yard for Vegas.
710 is Federal Government of the United States Emergency Services.
Well then.
Okay, so this movie is a psyop.
Yes.
I don't know.
I'm not sure how, but
they seem kind of pro-communism in their messaging.
Let me see. It's fine. We can keep talking about it. And I can look this up later.
I'm pulling up the IMDb trivia thing that specifically keyed me in on that.
Okay. So when the crew makes its way back,
702 was it?
702. Well, no. The crew makes their way back to the anthill where Zoc is waiting because Hova is missing, of course. And Zoc greets them. He discerns some information about the trip to the house and how it was Lucas's idea. And of course he's pissed. And of course he blames Lucas.
Obviously.
Of course. So he tells Lucas he wants to show him something and lets him see the potion that would make him big again. He tells Lucas he'll never make him big again because he's a threat to the whole colony. Zoc tells him there's no help for him here and that he might as well just fucking take off. And so Lucas does. He stumbles off into the night. Meanwhile, Kriega is binding Fugax's wounds from the vicious assault he suffered at the hands of Tiffany. And when Zoc comes in, Hova asks him where Lucas is. Zoc feigns ignorance, but Hova sees through it. Zoc and Hova have a brief fight about their respective positions on Lucas, and the crew leave Zoc alone after Hova tells them off, and they go to try and find and save Lucas. So Lucas finds himself outside the colony by a puddle of some sort, and he strikes up a conversation with a beetle. However, Lucas briefly looks away. There is a weird snapping sound, and when Lucas looks up, the beetle is gone. Turns out this puddle is the home of a toad who took out the beetle and is now coming after Lucas. So Lucas dodges some of the tongue attacks, flees past Hova and Kriega and Fugax who came out looking for him. They all join him in running, and they run together towards a discarded can in the yard. The ants scramble up the can, but Lucas still has not gained Spider-Man powers, and he cannot make it up the side of this can. So Hova is trying to reach down and grab Lucas, but Lucas gets eaten up by the toad before Hova can get a hold of him. And Zoc is arrives on the scene just in time to witness this. So in the belly of the toad,
one of the most graphic scenes happens here that took me aback. I'll let you get to it.
So In the belly of the toad, Lucas drops down. There's a couple of bugs in there. There's a fly, a glow bug, and the beetle from before. The bugs crack a couple of jokes. The rescue squad of ants chase the toad around, and then Zoc runs in front of the toad and goads it into eating him as well. Zoc falls into the stomach, and it turns out he brought alka root with him to make the toad throw everybody up via burp, and it works. There's a scramble in the belly of the toad when this happens, with the fly zooming up and grabbing the uvula of the toad. I don't know that they have
little
those.
Yeah, I don't know if frogs do.
It's little little like langly dangly thing.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because Zoc's like, let go of that, and the fly's like, why? So you can grab it? Not so fast. But the toad eventually burps, expelling all of the bugs, and Zoc and Lucas at this point in time. The fly, having regained his freedom, is like, haha, so long, suckers, and flies about 30 fly feet before getting eaten by another toad.
Now, hang on, because we have glossed over a part where I was just like, oh my God, this is rough. So as they're talking to like some of the random bugs that are in there, the one's just like, oh yeah, when I was in here, like Steve was here, and he's finally grabs Steve, and it's just a head, and he pulls Steve up, and the body is dissolved in acid. It's gone.
You're right. That didn't make it into my notes. That was the fly who does this.
It was the fly. Okay. I remember seeing that. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, they do their introduction. It's like, you forgot about Steve. Steve's hilarious. And he picks up just like just a head with like not like the bug equivalent of like a spinal cord hanging out from
it's very graphic.
It really was. It really was. I'm glad you brought that up because I did not cover that.
No, that part stayed with me.
So everybody free except for the fly, who is dead. He dies here. Never referenced again. Definitely doesn't make it out of the second toad's stomach. Zoc and Lucas run off together. They meet back up with Hova, Kriega, and Fugax, and they find a place to camp for the night on a mushroom. So the rest of the ants set off to do some foraging, and Hova actually contrives to use this opportunity to make Zoc and Lucas spend some personal time together where they have a conversation. Lucas explains some of the differences between ants and humans to Zoc, as well as confessing to some of his own personal shortcomings. And this causes Zoc to realize that him and Lucas have some things in common.
We're not so different, you and I.
Yeah, exactly. In the morning, all of the ants in the rescue crew are sleeping on the top of this toadstool mushroom, and Fugax wakes up first and through bleary eyes sees over the tops of the blades of grass a halo crowned ant sort of floating, just out of their clear vision, and wakes everybody up screaming, saying, the Antichrist, has arrived. Lucas, however, realizes this is just the topper of the car of the exterminator's vehicle. So Zoc and Lucas and the crew run back to the anthill to warn them that the fog breather is coming. Lucas explains what the fog bringer will do, and then also admits to inadvertently bringing the fog breather to their doorstep. So the ants go to cart him off, but Lucas shouts that he has a plan to deal with the exterminator, and Zoc actually stands up for him, ostensibly leading to his release and participation in the defense of the colony. So Zoc has come around on Lucas. Good for Zoc. So to put Lucas's plan into motion, Zoc and Lucas go to treat with the wasps. Lucas tells them that the exterminator is coming and that he's going to kill all of the bugs, but the wasps either don't believe him or don't care and go to eat him and Zoc. But another wasp flies in, warning of one of their alternative nests has been wiped out entirely, and that a cloud is coming, and then expires. So the wasps quickly become down for the cause, and then we see a bunch of mounts anting a bunch of ants mounting up on wasps.
Not right the first time. A bunch of mounts anting up.
Anting up. And they're all armed with these silk spitters that Lucas gained a pair of underwear from earlier in the film. So the Ant Air Force takes off and they go to attack the exterminator, who's sort of walking around the front yard, indiscriminately spraying poison. I don't think that that's how that works in practice, but I don't know. I'm
dude was just having a good time, just spraying pesticides all over the place, just killing stuff. The wasp tries to sting him, and he's just like, haha, I have these gloves on.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. And also, unfortunately, the exterminator is wearing earbuds of some sort. So Lucas's plan, which is to administer the same shrinking potion to the exterminator that was applied to him, thus rendering him ineffective as an exterminator, is not going to work because they can't spray anything into his ears. So the exterminator knocks Kriega out of the air and catches and flicks away Fugax and his mount. But when the exterminator stops to reload his poison canister, Lucas rallies everybody to go on another attack. But the exterminator was bluffing and has some handheld poison dispensers, which knocks Zoc and his mount out of the air. Lucas ends up landing on the guy's scalp, which is just lousy with lice and dandruff. He flees to the guy's nose, where he gets blown off almost immediately, but is caught by Hova and her wasp mount. Together, they're all swatted out of the air by the exterminator. So they crash to the ground, and Hova is trapped under her wasp, and poison clouds are rapidly closing in. Hova tells Lucas to run and leave her, but Lucas refuses, and this is where we get the weirdest turn in the film, because Lucas lifts the entire wasp off of her, and then carrying the wasp,
he's turning into an ant.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Unless
it's never actually established why this is something he could do.
No, it's not at all.
Pim particles.
Pim particles.
Pim particles.
Magic ant potion made with fire crystals, real fire crystals. But Lucas is running through the grass, lifting a whole ass wasp over his head. And so he and Hova flee, and they get to, I think it's the mailbox, and Hova climbs the pole of the mailbox and looks down and sees the poison cloud envelop Lucas while he's carrying the wasp. However, Lucas climbs out of the cloud of poison up the mailbox pole while still carrying the entire body of this wasp. No explanation as to why he can do this.
None needed.
You think he retains his ant powers when he gets big again?
So then he would be like Spider-Man, Ant-Man. He'd still be able to lift an insane amount and be extra strong and have to pull all of his punches so he just doesn't cave people's faces in. These questions are never answered.
Yeah, he becomes Spider-Man without the cool Spider-Man stuff and Ant-Man without the cool Ant-Man stuff. He's just boring.
So Zoc has gotten airborne once more and picks up Hova and Lucas. Meanwhile, the beetle friend and the glow bug that were both saved from the innards of a toad decide to get in on the action, and the beetle lifts the glow bug, and they take off to join the Air Force of wasps and ants. They fly up the pant leg of the exterminator, and just as the exterminator is approaching the ant colony hill to gas it, the beetle and the glow bug, one or both, bite the exterminator's dick. Not a joke.
That is literally what happens.
Yep, they say, oh, this part looks unprotected. I believe they also call it fleshy. I don't remember.
I don't remember either. I will just say they're cowards for not showing giant dangly bits.
Giant CG Paul Giamatti dong.
Could you imagine if we had to rank this on the nudity factors?
I mean, it's not Nick Cage's nudity, so it doesn't count.
That's true.
Could you imagine them rating this film R just to show CGI Giamatti dong?
I can, and I wish it happened.
I would respect the film a lot more if it did that.
This movie would have been way better.
It would have looped back around for me.
Change nothing else. Just make it R-rated and you have to wait this long into the movie to see why, and that's what you see.
And you got to give Bruce Campbell one utterance of the word "fuck," just one.
It should be right after the scene where he's like,
absolutely,
fuck, I think they just bit that dude's dick.
Yeah, like from here on out, now it's an R-rated movie.
Yeah, that's it.
PG for 70 minutes.
That would definitely classify it as experimental as far as filmmaking is concerned, but too risky for a big studio. Also, you'd lose Tom Hanks as a producer at that point.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I mean, like it would be experimental, kind of like the experiment we all undergo every day of gas station dick pills.
Of course.
I mean, I've taken mine today. Have you?
Absolutely. I take it before I go to work every day.
I'm on my second dose of the day.
Oh, double dosing.
There's not enough blood in my brain anymore.
You have to let everybody at work know that you have a raging hard-on.
Can't think right. Not enough blood brain.
My t-shirt saying it's not the pleats in the pants is raising a lot of questions I feel are answered by my t-shirt.
But that was my weird transition to ads. So go buy this stuff.
Listen,
including if
these,
it's BYU.
These BYU dick pill ads. We're gonna get sued by Mormons.
Yo, if Mormons sue us, I think that's the funniest possible ending to this podcast.
Yeah, it would be. I'd be proud of that. I'd talk about that shit every day for the rest of my life.
You feel like,
listen, we were my podcast.
Listen, we were doing a Nick Cage podcast. They got like 200 downloads a month, and then out of nowhere, BYU just sues us for $1.2 million.
Then we would be able to ruin strangers' lives by, when they overhear a conversation at the table next to them at Applebee's. If it wasn't for the Mormons, I'd still have that Nick Cage fight podcast. So after this exterminator gets his dick bit by a beetle and a glow bug, he's slightly incapacitated, and Zoc and his friends Wasp dive in to sting him in the ass. But they've coated the Wasp's stinger with the magical shrinking potion. This is where I have a lot of questions about how ant sorcery works in general, because the effect is that the exterminator begins to shrink, but he basically just shrinks to the size of a child, not an ant.
And he's very droopy.
He looks like a melted candle.
Yes.
He kind of looks like when Rick and Morty did the Cronenberg episode. That's what he kind of looks like.
What little symmetry he had was gone.
Yeah, I think he was a little asymmetrical on purpose, and then he was just like late era Picasso, asymmetrical at the end. But this raises some questions for me. So is it because they didn't apply the potion through the ear canal as they did with Lucas, and thus it lost potency? Or is it an issue of dosage?
That's my guess.
My guess was also dosage.
Yeah, I'm assuming that some of it slewed off of the stinger before they actually got to the stabbing, and it wasn't a full dose.
Right, and also I think I might be looking at this a little bit too much, but
absolutely, yes, but that's what we're here for.
That's what I was hoping for.
What I'm also guessing is that if you put the potion into the ear canal, it can get to the bloodstream faster. And I'm going to assume this is a heart-based potion. It needs to get to the heart for it to take effect. Your ass, there's no direct vessels. It's going to take a little bit of time.
Yeah, because they're not injecting it into like a vein or anything. They're just cramming it right into fatty tissue.
Yeah, so intramuscular injection is reducing the efficacy of the ant person shrinking potion is what we're going with.
that seems like the answer.
Yeah, I think I understood some of those words.
So some kind of combination of delivery method and body mass reducing the efficacy of the dose.
His ass was too fat. Couldn't shrink him right.
He's got too much of a badonk.
Yep.
See, there you go. That's a t-shirt we have to make for our merch shop is ass too fat, ant potion can't shrink me.
I'd wear it.
I would too. I feel like it would raise a lot of questions at the bar.
We'd have to send one to Paul Giamatti.
I don't think Giamatti would get it at all.
Yeah, no, he doesn't remember he was in this movie. That information is already leaving my brain.
We would just end up on a list like years later. We happen to run into Giamatti and want to get a autograph and immediately get tackled by bodyguards because we sent him a weird shirt that he took as a threat.
Oh man, I should start looking into making shirts.
So the mildly shrunken exterminator can no longer reach the door handle to his van and proceeds to flee the scene via tricycle. It's sitting in the driveway of a adjacent household. So after this, Lucas is carried by the ants in front of the queen to receive accolades. The queen dubs Lucas Rokai the ant. He is informed that this is an ant name, an ant wizard name, which also raises some questions for me, but I'm not going to get into the particulars of ant nomenclature and what constitutes a wizard name as opposed to just a regular ant name, but whatever. So
whatever doesn't matter.
Yeah. Lucas accepts this with a bow. Fugax asks Lucas to, when he returns to normal size, drop them some sweet rocks every now and again. Also, it looks like him and Kriega are an item now. Zoc calls Lucas a friend and gives him the potion to restore him to his normal size. Hova and Lucas embrace as they say goodbye, and Lucas exits the colony and takes the potion, growing big again, but once more is butt naked on his front lawn. Mamo, also once more, is the only person to witness this from the window of the house. And mom and dad return from their vacation right on time at this point. Lucas, now fully clothed and re-equipped with his glasses, runs out to hug his mom. Of course, at this point, the bully has to show up again. So the protagonist can utilize all the lessons he's learned to defeat this enemy of his.
And what is the moral of this story that we had to suffer through?
I honestly don't know, but
dogpile.
So what happens is Lucas stands up to the bully this time, and Lucas manages to turn the crew of younger kids that the bully uses as an entourage against him. And once the kids realize they outnumber the jerk bully, they chase him off.
They become the bullies.
Yes. The kids make friends with Lucas at this point and invite him to play. He says he'll be there in a bit. He has something to do first. Cut back to Hova and Zoc watching the exchange from the anthill. Lucas comes back to the anthill and drops a bunch of jelly beans for them. As the ants rush the sweet rocks, the image gets turned into a new cave painting for the ants, and the credits roll in the same fashion with cave paintings and credits. This is where I had a holy shit. Tom Hanks produced this movie. He is one of the producers. All right, it's a kids movie. Weird choice in jokes, absurd ideology if you're trying to follow it to any moral conclusion.
It's the same moral conclusion as Planet of the Apes. Monkeys together strong.
Yeah, it was basically like Nietzsche's caution against the Ubermensch mentality.
Yeah.
There's always a bigger fish, but there's always a pile of smaller fish that could topple any single bigger fish. So there you go. Ant Bully.
It was boring. I hated it.
It was.
I thought it was fine. But it's fine. I'm not going to watch it again. If a friend of mine ever asked me, like, hey, what's a good kids movie that has Nick Cage in it? I'd probably say The Ant Bully.
No.
Sorcerer's Apprentice.
G-Force.
Oh. So
I just wanted to get
there was a weird I feel like I'm cursed by this movie already. I was at Goodwill yesterday doing my weekly check their DVD section to see if there's anything weird that I want to buy, and there was a fucking copy of The Ant Bully staring back at me. Same thing happened with G-Force. No, I didn't buy it. I was not going to pay $2 for this.
I'm not going to tell you what I paid for this movie.
I don't want to know.
Was it $13.99?
It was at 5 times as much as that copy at the Goodwill.
It wasn't $13, but I do think it was like $10.
Jesus, you ain't ever getting that $10 back.
No, of course not. Was it worth it? No. Will I make the same mistake again?
Yes,
absolutely, 100%. I will not learn a lesson. I will not change my dog shit opinions. This is my promise to you as my co-host and to all of our listeners.
Speaking of, oh, wait a second. Should we wrap this movie before I get into the next one?
Yeah, I mean, do we have anything insightful to say about it?
I don't think so.
We made our communism jokes.
I mean, I will say that mercifully it wasn't jam-packed with fucking pop songs, which is something I hate about a lot of children's movies that really date themselves like that.
Yeah, I never felt like this movie was dated. I mean, outside of like the animation style.
Yeah,
if you had told me that this movie was released in 2006, 2012, or 2019, I would believe any of those dates.
That is fair.
Which really, I kind of enjoyed.
So one of my primary complaints is it misses two elements of a successful kids movie, because the idea is you want kids to be interested in it, and I think this movie does accomplish that part. But you do need to seed it with stuff that'll keep a parent from wanting to blow their fucking brains out when their kid puts this on. And that is where it falls flat on its face.
I think that's where the dick jokes came in.
Yeah, but they weren't even good dick jokes.
No.
Right, but I think that they thought that it was.
Weirdly enough, I think the dick jokes are more likely to get a laugh out of kids than adults. So, and the other thing they fucked up on is there's no Randy Newman songs in it.
There's not a single Randy Newman song.
Which is critical to
and there would have been a great moment for that too. He's got this song called Little People. It's just about little people. He could have played it when Paul Giamatti got Little People.
The funny thing is, I keep annoying my fiance with my dumbass ideas for our wedding. And so one thing that we haven't settled on is our first dance song. And every time the conversation comes up, I keep suggesting Short People.
Yes, Short People. That's the song. Yes.
And she hates that idea. I think it's great, personally.
Yeah. I think it's pretty good.
Anyway, yeah, so it doesn't pass the longevity test for a kids movie because it really doesn't have anything for adults. We legitimately tried. That being said, I do think kids would like it. Just their parents. It's only going to work for kids.
Kids are fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's only going to work for kids who are latchkey kids, and the parents are nowhere near the video and audio from this film. But otherwise, yeah, pretty generic, formulaic. Bruce Campbell, great. Ensemble cast, great, but nothing really of substance happening here. You're not missing anything.
No.
Sorry, Tom Hanks. I apologize. I know this was really formative for you, and
this one's not a thanks, Hanks.
Yeah, I agree. So
yeah, it wasn't very good.
So closing the chapter on the ant bully, what's next? What are we doing? What are we even doing here?
So in 2 weeks, we're doing Renfield. So we have one more to do. So I rolled the dice, and I actually came to a movie that I personally did not enjoy. I think that it's going to be a movie that when I say that I didn't enjoy it, it's going to be something you're going to be like, you're fucking stupid, but I didn't like it. And that's National Treasure.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen this.
It's all right. It's okay. It's like a C+ movie.
I was expecting more. I was expecting like a spoilers if you haven't seen National Treasure. Like you could just stop the episode now. We're done talking about the ant bully.
Treasure.
Yeah, but the spoilers aren't going to ruin what little enjoyment you'll get out of it.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, like I thought it was going to be like a straight heist movie. And like
it's like a bad Indiana Jones.
Right. And the whole like stealing the Declaration of Independence that lasts like 6 minutes.
Yeah, no, you know what it is? It's a Dan Brown novel for children.
Yeah. I was gonna say, is it like the Da Vinci Code?
It's the Da Vinci Code for babies.
Neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do worse than this movie. I had higher expectations, and yeah, I think I may have seen it too late. Like I watched it literally like 5 months ago.
I think the second one's better. So, like, at least we'll have the context for the second one.
So, yeah, we got National Treasure. Then after that, we are just going to jump right into Renfield because I'm super excited to watch that.
I'm excited, too. It's the first time we're going to review a Nick Cage film as it comes out. I'm going to have to take my notes in a darkened theater, which is going to be fun. Also got to figure out how to smuggle booze in there. Unless we go to one of the ones that has a bar, a civilized theater.
Yeah. I think we can make that happen.
This has Harvey Keitel in it. I didn't remember that.
Sean Bean is in it. Does he die?
Yeah, probably. We've also got John Voight and Christopher Plummer. There's some good cast in here.
Oh shit. Is this pre-Lost His Mind Voight? Wait, this is 2004.
Yeah, I think it's pre-Lost His Mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, look, I'm excited. Several years outside of the popular conversation about this film, but I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, why not?
I'm contractually obligated to.
I think I'm going to hate it less than this last movie.
Oh, you're definitely going to hate it less than this movie.
Yeah, totally.
All right, I'm down for it. Also, I mean, it's one of the Cage films that most people know. They've heard of National Treasure.
Yeah, it's definitely one that is absolutely known.
I'll take it.
It's not the worst. Yeah,
it's a C+.
Good. Well, I'll bring a fresh set of eyes to it, and you guys can rehash all of your issues with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll watch it again, obviously. I mean, I'm here. It's what I do now.
Yeah.
My personality is basically wrapped up in watching Nick Cage movies.
Yeah. At this point, it has kind of become a thing. Well, I think we've done this to death. Put a pin in this one. Ant Bully is finished. We survived.
Pull the pin out of the grenade and then throw it at the Ant Bully.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that too. Yeah. I wouldn't be mad.
Agreed entirely. So, in the meantime, listeners, stock up on dick pills. There's going to be a run on the market soon. Follow us on social media. You can find us on Twitter at cagefight_pod. Every follow comes with a free packet of dick pills. We'll mail them to you directly. Just DM us. That's a guarantee. And I also keep hearing about a Patreon we have, which after the $3 tier, you get all of our episodes for free. Ad free and for free after those $3 every month.
Yeah, after those $3 a month. Also The Wrestler coming in 4 to 6 business years.
So soon. Very,
very soon. Gone in 60 Seconds, the original, Bad Lieutenant, the original. I'm thinking of Ending Things versus Adaptation. Bunch of Nick Cage stuff we got going on. And yeah, we know we have to record them. We are 3 busy people. It sucks. It's stupid. I hate being busy. I would just rather watch Nick Cage movies.
Correct.
If you yell at us enough about it, we'll just invite you over to our house and just do it for you personally live.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to that. Like, we'll just chill. And actually, I think that's one of the tiers. It's like the $15 tier, I think. Is like, you can, like, we'll send you a link and you can just watch a movie with us.
I thought the $15 tier was we'll invite you to our homes. Just come hang out, man. $15 a month. Buy some friends. It's fine. Yeah, we might have to charge a little bit more for that one. But
yeah, for that one, it's a little bit more for that one. But yeah, and I'm seriously going to release some Nick Cage fight goods, like a T-shirt that says "Shrinky Potion couldn't get through fat ass."
Yeah, or just a T-shirt that says "Did you come?"
Oh, that'd be so good.
That would be so good.
Sorry, cum-based merch is huge right now. We really gotta get our hands in that market.
We really gotta capitalize on that.
Yep, that sticky market. That'll do it for us this time, loyal listeners. As always, we appreciate you.
Bye-bye.